Hello and welcome to Oh Stitch Happens. My name is Levi. My name is Levi. I can be found on Instagram as wtfknitting without the singing. Welcome back. I live in Central Ohio with my partner and our two badass dogs. I'm not even kidding. Do you want two Shih Tzus? There's a cute little button, but I'll give them away. Okay, I won't give them away. But they are as cute as a little button. Don't you love my glasses? So when I went and got these, the lady was so confused that I wanted 3 pairs of glasses. I wanted 2 pairs of glasses and lenses. And she kept saying, so it's cheaper just to buy a pair of glasses with lenses. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm buying 2 sets of glasses, complete, and then a lens. Anyways, after much back and forth, and then she asked me why I needed 3 pairs of glasses. Because I don't take care of things, ma'am. One moment, guys. I'm giving you like Easter Sunday, and then I had to also give you a little gay. So it's like Easter Sunday, and then after church, bam, gotta represent. Anyways, so I couldn't get it through her like thick head. I'm like, dude, just shut up. You're getting commission on all 3 of them, so just check me out. I want this pair, lenses for both, and I want these lenses replaced in this glass. That's it. We're not arguing. Don't worry why I need 3 glasses anyway. Anyways, so how's everyone doing? It's been, I think, 4 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. I did a video last week, and it was just too much rambling. I just couldn't even. I'm sitting here in just the shirt and my undies. I forgot to put the pants on. Thank God you can't see down below because we'd all be in trouble. Anyway, so it's been 3 weeks or maybe 4. I pulled the winner for Poppy, the Floss Poppy by Otter Creek Floss. And the winner is Debbie with an I, Duncan 6082. This person. Sorry, got a bunch of lights here. Debbie Duncan, she wrote here, I love watching you and I love California poppies. You know, we've tried to grow poppies in every house we've owned for the last 15 years and we've never been successful. We even tried as a stint to buy them from a mail order last year, and they lasted for half the season and just died. So apparently poppies are not in our future. Such a beautiful, I agree, I want them. I really love the red ones though. Thank you for always being you. You're fun. Thank you so much, Debbie. Please email me at the email down below. State in your email that you are 18 and then give me your U.S. postal address. And I literally put it in a Christmas card. Hello, it's Editing Levi here. And I wanted to talk to you about these bags. I do want to give one of them away on the Flosstube today. So you have to be 18. Don't use all the nonsense. Words, blah, blah, blah. This one's not done yet, but it will be done, but it's going to have a different zipper. It's going to be like a silver and black zipper instead of the black on black, or it's actually called gunmetal, so it's gray. I wanted to give one of these away. So if you want to put in the comments down below, butterfly, butterfly, put it down below, and let's give one of these away. And it'll be I'm going to give one of them away, so the winner will be able to choose from the orange colorway or the black colorway. And because I want to keep one. And I made the orange top one for my friend Melissa. So if you want to enter for the giveaway, be over 18. Don't use all the words. I mean, if you do, it's your loss. I really would like it to go to a stitcher because it takes, a while to make. But use the word butterfly, butterfly, and we will do it I will pull a winner in a few weeks. Alrighty, back to the show. How's everyone doing? It's been 3 weeks. 3 weeks. We're here. I'm queer. Today's New York Marathon weekend. And we went to New York Marathon weekend last year, not realizing we couldn't understand why every room in the city was sold out, and the ones that were like unsold out, they were like $1,000 a night. But we had already purchased tickets to see Sunset Boulevard that weekend because we got like front row, and so we had to end up paying the $1,000 a night. We stayed for 2 nights and left. So anyways, Andrew, the runner stitcher, is in the marathon I think he started like 2 hours ago or 4 hours ago. He's probably done by now, I'm sure. Well, it's 26 miles. I don't know. Anyways, who cares? He's doing his marathon this weekend. We were there last year, and we didn't realize it. We're like, why are all these runners everywhere? Hello, marathon weekend, baby. Anyways, Debbie Duncan, get a hold of me. Marathon weekend, yay. Okay, I've only started one thing, and I actually started this. Mary Hill, 1854. That was that kit I bought from Etsy last week. Or I could have put it in the video that I deleted that I bought it last week or a few weeks ago. And I started it on 36 count, Steinbeck. And this is my progress. Oh, it's so pretty. And yeah, it's about right, actually. It's kind of a dingy brown with a little bit of like dark modeling, and then the called for are all right here. It came in the kit. That's what I'm using. Super exciting. I am still doing a little bit of bake-off stitching. I don't know why. I'm not doing enough to say I'm a bake-off stitcher, but I did do a few. I did do Portrait of Lady M. He won bake-off 1 week. So I was putting in, or no, sorry, not bake-off. So I put in a thing, and I actually took this off the thing to see if I could show you. There, yeah, you can see it. Like the stenciling that I did. So this is on 28 count. Oh, I got green there. Oh. We'll have to figure that out. Oh, you can't see it from the front, so good. It's right here. Oh, you can a little bit, but that's really low. So this, she might be done before that. I don't know. I'll have to wash that out and figure it out. So I put in a few hundred stitches. I got tired of doing that hair. I'm not really the happiest with the way the hair looks. I don't really like the yellow, brown, green look. So then I just went and did her face. You barely can see it. There you go. So did her face. Did some of this down here too. And I am now finished with his stitch off, or like whatever he did for a week, I think 6 or something. And I haven't watched even, I don't think I've watched week 7 or 8, or well, the semifinals, I think, or whatever. I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it yet. Next one. So this one here and this one here are all gonna go in the same conversation pile. So here, this is also in Bake Off. I did some more moon deer. I think I also forgot to put in a little bit of these numbers because I feel like I've done more than what it's saying. I should actually take a picture of this so that it would be easier to show. Okay, there we go. So there's moon deer. It is so cute. So I chose all my own flowers, my own colors. If you want to know about that, just go to a previous video. I talk about all the colors. It is in a portfolio that I made myself. Again, if you want a good tutorial or a good pattern, purchase it off of Tiger Lily Designs. You could also use Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. Don't recommend it. But here it is. And there's my colors. And it's on Rhapsody 46 Count MoonshineStitchery.com. And I think she might have gifted me this fabric. Because I went back and looked and it wasn't on there. So I'm assuming maybe she just said, oh, thanks for ordering, and sent me it as well. Why is he whimpering? Anyways, here it is. So I finished this little thing, brought this down, started some of this. So I've basically done that. And I have a little bit more of this on the line to finish the hoop and the other stuff there, but I just haven't worked on it. Rhapsody, it's a tan with a little bit of pinky reddish modeling on it. You can really see it here. Let me see if I got a piece of paper. There we go. Oh yeah, you can really see it there now that I put the pink. And you can see it here. It's really just a beautiful color. And she's right now, I bet she'll win, this baker here. And I just haven't got to doing any more. Oops, sorry, I knocked over my spray. I just haven't got any more to it lately. It's just been kind of, I started something and then I think I'm gonna finish it, like be done with it, because it's really not working out like I thought it was gonna work out, but I'm also not really stitching as much as I have been. And I went back to look, and I looked at my spreadsheets from last year and the year before, and then I looked at like video 1 and 2 to like see exactly why maybe I'm not stitching as much, because last year in October I did like 17, 18, 17 one year and then almost 20 the next last year. And then this year I did 10. I did 9,000 stitches, which is, for some people, it is a lot. I'm sure of it. For me, it's like a little spit in the bucket. And anyway, so I went back to video 1 and looked, and I was like, why am I not doing? And in both video 1 and 2, I was talking about doing 2 threads a day stitching. So I was like, okay, I'll pick that back up. Maybe that'll help. Finish this. This is my, oh gosh, I think it's a, I don't know, do a Google reverse image, and it's We Catch Them or something along those lines. It's a really out of print, it's an out of print fabric by Dear Stella, I think. And I think it's We Catch Them or You're a Catch, I think is what it's called actually. Well, I forgot to put in the little thing here, and I wasn't ripping out this pocket. So then I was like, okay, I've got this leftover green, which I put the wrong way because the sparkly side's supposed to be forward. Put it the wrong way. Finished it like this instead. And it lives in here until it's done. So I currently do 1 thread a day. The other one, I'll put a picture here because I finished it and gave it to Lisa, Crossed by Floss, because when she was over here, she loved it. So I just gifted it to her. And the front of it's patched work, because I thought I was buying a long, like half of a yard, and I only got a fat quarter of it. So I had enough to do like certain patches in it with this, and then I used this fabric here, I think. And then I had another like turquoise gray and like some other like swirl pattern. This is also an out of print, don't know who made it. This is an out of print Kate Fassett, and this is a charm pack that I got from, not a charm pack, a jelly roll from Joann's. And I did this because the other one was patchwork, so I thought, oh, I'll put a little patchwork in my pocket. It's fine. So Put a Bird on It is essentially my 2 threads a day project. And I'm doing it on 18 count, dyed by Rwanda in Canada. And I'm also using, it's a 1 dye, and I'm also using her 1 dye floss as well. And then I'm using some others, like I used my Dinky dyes from, that sampler I finished, Sarah Barker, and then I used this to kind of, because you can't really see it now, kind of just blends into the fabric. That's what my whole purpose was, and I love it. But here it is. So I'm just working across so that I can get 75% of this pattern done, and then I'll just have this piece right here. So basically like this over here to finish. And it's on 18 count Aida. I am doing it 1 thread over 1 Aida thread. And it's so cute. And I'm just really excited to like, just continue. And this will be my 2 threads a day until it is done. And I get about, depends, like if I'm in a spot where I can just kind of move it along, like here, I could get 150. If I have to start and stop, I can get about 120 stitches. And then there's my bag. So I'm really excited about it. I just gotta get, I have to do, I cut them in foot lengths. So basically the foot is 2 threads, because I do around 1 yard. And I do about 18 inches per thread when I do 1 thread. So I just take 1 thread of the of the yard, cut it in half, and that's my 2 threads for the day. Next thing the next thing I worked on this week is the Blue Flower Baby Animals. So cute. I'm doing this on 40 count Kunzite by Fiber on a Whim, and I'm doing it 1 thread over 2 linen threads. This one got some work. So I got bored doing the panther and the flowers, and I went over to the sloth. Look at the baby sloth. It looks demonized right now because it doesn't have it in its eyes. It doesn't have it in its eyes. And it doesn't have it in its mouth, so it looks a little crazy. But it's so darling. I love this. It is in my two ladies. I always have to look at this, and I don't know why. Two old lady bags. Like, phonetically, it doesn't make any sense to me. But also, I'm not an English person. I'm a nurse. I save lives. Now, if you'd like me to write you a paper to save your lives, unfortunately, you would not exist anymore. But with ChatGPT, I mean, I could be a scholarly writer in 5 minutes, right? But I'm not that kind of guy. I don't even have ChatGPT. I am so, like, we went to this craft fair for my nephew for his band and to like support because they get like money from, I don't know if it's sales or just the rent of the booth or whatever. And all these people took Venmo, and I'm like, I don't have Venmo. I can send you Zelle. I can write you a check. I didn't have any checks, but I could write you a check. I could Zelle ya, PayPal ya. I don't have Zinnia, or I don't have whatchamacallit. So it was really funny. So I'm working on that just occasionally. Whenever I feel like spicing my life up is when I actually work on it. I decided to play a little game with myself. That sounds really inappropriate. I have a deck of cards. I found a deck of cards in my office, which I don't even know where they came from, but I think it was when I was trying to put all my floss, like buy deck of cards so that I could put them all on floss drops. And these ones were so pretty. They're like owls. And you know, I love birds and owls. And I'm hot, and I even turned off the heat. It's the AC coming on, or the whatever. Anyways, so I picked 3 projects. First one was Ann Thomas, 1854 by Hands Across the Sea. The second one was Santa Stops Here by With Thy Needle and Thread. And then the last one is What Remains by Blackbird. And what I do is every time I'm ready to pick them up, I pick up the deck of cards and I pull 3 cards. The first one is for Ann Thomas, second one is for Santa Stops Here, and the third one is for What Remains. And for every number card, you just times it by 10. Jacks are 11, Queens 12, Queens are 12, Queens are 12, Kings are 13, Aces are 14, and then Jokers are 500, which is so much. So fun. So I've played it a handful of times. I'm not really sure how many, but I used to do it every day, and I pulled one and I started accumulating numbers. I'm like, okay, I can't do that either, because that's what got me into trouble with Bake Off. So now I just work on all 3. Once I have all 3 stitches done, the totaling of the round, then I go back and I pull 3 more cards for the rest of the, you know, the participants again until the stitches are done, and then I go back. It's not really, it's kind of like war, but not war, because there's no like divide and conquer kind of thing. And you don't swoop the cards in. So I'm not really sure. I'm doing fine with it. It's just also feels like really like obligation, and I'm just not really into obligation right now, but I've kept up with it. I've done it probably every 2 days. I've picked a new set of cards. So like I picked some on Friday and I haven't stitched any on Sunday. So oops. So Ann Thomas, I picked her up. I've actually done quite a bit of work on her. So I've done this here, and I've started working my way down. So now, I used to do it on diagonal, and I'm now just doing it like this. 100 blocks across and finishing them as I go. So I am definitely gonna have to move this up at some point. But here she is. Oh, I just love her. I'm just really excited to get her done. She's on 32 count, dyed by me. If you're interested, go in any video. I talked about this ad nauseum. And oh, here, I'll show you a picture. This is what she looks like. I have this and the PDF. My Hands Across the Sea PDF does go into Pattern Keeper. The one that I bought recently that was colored didn't go in as well as the black and white ones, which I don't understand why sometimes she offers the black and whites and then other ones she doesn't. But I think the reason why she didn't offer the black and white on the one that I purchased recently is because it has a lot of like satin stitches and they're different colors versus like on some of them, when you do satin stitches or long stitches, or back stitches, they'll change, like they'll give you, instead of it being a solid line, it'll be a dotted line or a starred line or whatever, and hers are just colored lines. So you have to have the colored chart to, oh, is that my Princey boy? That's the Princey boy. Are you coming here? Oh, come here. Oh, he's not coming. Oh, here's the sissy girl. Oh, come here, come here, come here. Oh, come here. Okay, here's Prince. Here's my little Winnie. His name is Winston Charles. He's a purebred Shih Tzu, black and white. He's so darling. And then here's my little sissy girl. Come here. Where's sis? Oh, and then this is my little Skitsy. This is Finland Grace. She is a gray and white, even though she's actually a tan and white. And she was violet when we first got her, which I've said a million times too. But this is little Finland Grace, and she loves to lick people. So if you've ever come to my house, she will tongue assault. She's called the tongue assassin. Okay, I love you too. And apparently there's like some weird lighting going on now. It's like gotten all of a sudden bright on the outside. And you know, I didn't actually, one moment. Okay, it's getting bright out all of a sudden now. I don't know. So those are the dogs. They're as cute as little buttons. I love them. They're both ornery as all hell, but that's okay. This next one here is Santa Stops Here by With Thy Needle and Thread. I bought this at the one in Gallery. I can't remember the name of it. It was in Finland, Ohio. I went up there and got Lady of the Flag and Christmas Garden, both framed up there. Anyways, bought it from them. And I started it on 36 count Duxbury. And here I am. So this is 1/2 on 36 count. I completely finished the roof. I completely finished the wreath. And that's where I've got to. So I am now on to my finishing numbers for this. And this one actually, no, it's the next one that's winning. If I had a number, you know, to say, oh, this one's winning or not, it's actually what remains. And Thomas is slagging. So yeah, now I have to finish. I'm trying to try to finish everything in the Q-snap here. So I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to bring it down and put the Q-snap below the beads and finish this here, and then move my way west or east or whatever direction. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. And it's in a me-made bag. It's in a me-made bag. This is a 2.5 inch charm pack that I bought from Joann's. And I originally had bought it to make bags like this, and I just never did. And I was like, I have that. And I'm gonna start that. And then I decided, oh, I'm just gonna cut up other things. And when I find this, I will make them. So I made 2 of them. This is mine. I made my friend Melissa one. I don't know where it is right now, but I did make her one. And it's really just as darling as can be. And I just use cream unbleached muslin, because that's what I have. And I have plenty of it. I have like another 10 more yards of it. So that's probably what I'll put in every bag, even if it doesn't make any sense. Whatever. So that's exciting. And that's a me-made bag. If you're interested in making a bag, you can go to, you really can go anywhere to find out how to do it. You just use interfacing, and then you slop the 2.5 inch squares on the interfacing, and then you plop the interfacing together so that your quarter seam, and that's how you get it. And if you want to make them bigger, make them 1/8 of an inch seam, and then you'll have 2 3/4 instead of, or 2.5, true 2.5 squares instead of 2 1/4 squares. Well, 2 inch squares, I guess, because you have to take 1/4 off of each side, and you're starting at 2.5. So you probably have to start at more like 3. But I have one of those because I got drunk with power. This is another 2 old ladies bags. This is the final project in the dice and the card playing thing, What Remains. This was Traditional Stitches, exclusive for them for their celebration, and it became widely available. Here this is. This is actually my Lady of the Flag bag, but I did some like stitching outside of the house, and I just put it in here. And I haven't taken it out. Oh, so this one here needs the most stitches. I hate stitching on this. But here it is. I've done a lot, actually. I have finished the house. I've started I've started the flower. I've done this. I've done that. I finished the yard underneath the house. The funny thing is the yard under the house is this color, but it's brown in the actual photo or in the charting. And I think Blackbird does that a lot. It's kind of actually annoying. This whole pot here in Bird is all 1 stitch over and 2 stitches down. So, but this is on 32 count straw, Weeks Dye Works, and there's Wag Art based, and it's interesting, these straight stitches, how like they look so nice going one way and they get really sparse going up and down, but side by side they look so good. But anyways, and this is a beast and a half. It's one column of one color and another column of another and another column of the first color and second all the way over. I really wish I would have just chose one color and stitched the whole thing that one color, because that's, I think, the reason why I got so tired of doing this stitching. Because you got to figure out how to make it look nice. And anyways, it's not really my wheelhouse. So the last one here, before I get talking about something a little bit crazy that I did this past week, is Elizabeth Scora by My Sister Samplers. Bought this at What's Her Face. This is in the bag that I did in 3.5 squares because I forgot that my my Omni squares my Omni grid squares that I have, one side or two sides has the 1/2 inch built in, and I didn't realize I was using it 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. Realized that I was using the one with the 1/2 inch built in, and I went to 2.5, so I made the squares 3.5 inches. But here it is. This is my bag that I made. The fabrics that I made out of my my StitchCon traveling bag out of, and so I had to cut this down, cut these in half, cut this in half. I cut this in, not in half, I just took it down to the 2.5 inches, and then I cut this in half to make it a reasonable bag because it was humongous. It was like 20 by 22 or 18 by 20, something like that. This is on 40 count ledger. It is done with 1 thread of Gloriana silk over 2 linen threads, and this is a Be Stitch Me called Ledger, and here I am. This person got eliminated, so I was doing their elimination stitches, and it is just so darling. I just really love it, but also, like, it's so interesting. Well, it's that way too on there. I think it's just because my fabric's kind of blue that those, like, the flowers there look so, like, striped right here. It's kind of different. But anyways, yeah, so there I am, working in a diagonal. And I'm putting it away because I'm not she was eliminated. That night and started stitching. Somebody called the Sharky Stitcher came on my feed, and she was talking about, she had done an update, and she was stitching like 2 or 3 Mirabilias, and she kind of, from what it looked like to me, kind of just went wherever she wanted on it. And I was like, oh, that just gave me permission to just kind of bounce around and go and do whatever I want on my Mirabilia. Or I'm sorry, did I say Mirabilia? I meant my chatelaine. And I'm talking about Hummingbird Lace chatelaine. And then I spent all evening figuring out how to get it into Pattern Keeper. Well, Pattern Keeper would not accept it. It just kept saying that there were no unrecognizable symbols. And then I looked at their little YouTube thing, and it said, well, click, like, just keep all the symbols that are recognizable. Well, they did, everything was blacked out. You couldn't see them, so it didn't make any sense. Why is it all black? Like, anyway, the only thing they could recognize were the beads. So I was like, okay, I have Markup XP on my app, and I go, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get the iPad. My partner is not doing the weekend stuff this weekend. I will see if I can get it loaded into the iPad, because the phone's screen, you know, my phone is this big, and it has this stupid sensitivity thing, and I couldn't get the thing out. I could not get it away so that I could actually have more of my screen to use as a to document my stitching in. So I was like, okay, the phone's not working. So then I was like, okay, I'll do the iPad. I got the iPad out. The iPad worked, but like if he's using it and then if I want to stitch on it, you know how it works, blah, blah, blah. So it didn't really work. So then I got on there because I couldn't figure out how to do like association things. And I got on their website and found out that in reality, Markup XP is now on Android, which I didn't know. So if you didn't know either, here we are. We're welcoming you to the party. So I I had to buy it. Well, actually I didn't buy it. I had to buy, I did buy it. I got the trial, and then after the trial ran out, I had to pay $17.99 a year for this, even though I had paid I think it was $19 on Apple actually, but it doesn't link like that. Like you can only use your Apple ID, but you can't put the ID in to tell you that you've purchased it already. So I had to repurchase it. I purchased it on the Apple at like in April when I was deciding if I wanted to continue with the pattern or not. And so I could get it to the iPad because the iPad was in my name, blah, 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 whatever. But anyways, here it is. So I got it into my tablet. Funny thing is the only thing that worked on this one was everything but the beads. So I had to go in and associate. So if you look here, like if you see those green and pink things there, I had to actually go in and like up here how those are finished, but that's not. I actually went in and associated all the beads to a number. And then also, like for example here, where that purple is right there, it is actually like Rhodes stitches or Jessica stitches, and it's in the color that those stitches are supposed to be in. But if you unpreviewed it, like you can see what the stitches are. And then you click it, and then you're like, okay, I want to know what color. Okay, so then I picked it, and it says here, DD, which is Dinky Dye's Blue Mountain. And that there, all of those specialty stitches are Blue Mountain. So it's a little bit easier than the thing. And then I went in and associated all the beads, and now it's all searchable. And I've only done the top of I've only done the top of this corner here with the beads and stuff. I've done maybe the first 200 or 300 rows. So I've got to finish all that, and I still got to do some selection and blah, 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 but I'm so excited that I got it done. And I picked it up and did like 700 or 800 stitches. Oh, so I did this. I did this here. I did my first Jessica's. They look better. Like they got a bit of a hole more in the back than the front, but I did my Jessica's here. I've done some specialty Rhodes in the treasure braid. I did all of this. I did some more fill in of these. And then I started up here. I'm gonna work my way to the top. And I'm gonna work my way to the top, and I'm gonna work my way down. I'm gonna put this on a scroll frame. I have to buy one because the one I have, the almanac I have, are 100 centimeters, and it's really too long for this, like too big. And then I have 15-inch bars, and the bars are even ridiculous. So I've got to figure that out in the next week or so. But I'm gonna put this on, and I'm gonna work on it. And also, it's like I have $500 of supplies sitting, and I need to use it. So I figured a way out, and I paid for my subscription for this, and now I'm good. I'm back in the biz, man. So then I was like, okay, so let's go a little bit further and figure out my pointed fifth. My pointed fifth is in a me-made bag. So cute. This is actually made out of a jelly roll that I bought when I made my StitchCon gifts for 2024. I made a paper pieced top pin thing with a thread trash thing. Super cute. This is a Mr. Domestic by Fabrics.com. They no longer exist because Amazon bought them. This is Girl Power by Riley Rake, I think. Riley Blake. So cute. And then I decided I was going to, Because I said, okay, I can reassociate things there, but can I reassociate the same symbol to a different color for my pointed fifth? And look what it did. I'm so excited. I am just as giddy as a schoolgirl here. So here is my pointed fifth in all of the colors. So you can see up there, I'm cutting them in half, which I told you about, and then every panel is going to be the same color. And this is an all Otter Creek floss. Hopefully she'll be opening up her, she had a move, she made a move, and hopefully soon she'll be opening up her website. I know some people have sent me messages and probably have sent her messages about it. So hopefully she'll be able to get that up and running for us in the next week or so. Because, you know, moving house is a big deal. I love moving, so it's not that big of a deal to me. But, like, you know. So here's all of the Otter Creek floss. I told her she should do an advent calendar, but she just is not able to currently. So hopefully next year she'll do an 12-day advent calendar for us Christmas people. They're crazy. But here's my colors. So really just as darling as anything. Granite Cardinal, Blood Orange, Harvest Gold, Avocado Pit. That's the one I'm still debating on if I'm going to have her try to make me a different color or if I'm just going to find a different color. Because I have all of her colors currently. It's just not it's not the green I'm looking for. It's kind of a green, brown, orange color. Sea Grape Surf, Indigo, Bunting, and then Purple Martini. And then I'm doing the main color in Onyx Ravens. It's a blue-black. It's really pretty. And I am doing it on 40 count. Antique Clouds by Victorian Motto sampler. Oh, this is really just a great color. It actually... It is actually the color of the fabric. It's a pretty good representation. Well, no, it's not. It's a little darker, but also it could be defined when I divide it. So there I am. I finished that, and up here, I have never seen anybody put those back stitching in the arrows. I didn't notice that until I put it into markup, because in Pattern Keeper, it doesn't show back stitching. So here it is. So cute. An Otter Creek floss. Hopefully she will get that back up for us so that we can start shopping, you know. This is Sweet Pea. Welcome to Nora November. And that's posted. I don't know if she's created it, but I've only seen it or heard about it from Cross by Floss Lisa. And this is the project I'm doing for Nora November. Again, I was out of town yesterday, traveling for God knows how long, and I didn't get to it. This is on 28 count, antique white. I want to say it looks like a Lugana. Oh, that's the back. This is the front. I'm doing this for my mother, because she used to call my grandma Sweet Pea when she was alive. So I'm doing this for my mother. I don't have very much left. I think I have about 4,200 and some stitches left on this. So I am going to plan on using Nora November to complete this. And I need to really do like the stitch count, and I need to find my clear thread, because I really liked when I did Emerald Mermaids, beads, and clear, so that I can just kind of travel wherever I want to put in the bead and get it done. Because that is my goal, to get this shit complete and move on with my life. Let me find my paper, because I wanted to talk to you about a few things. So that is all the stitching. I do have a little bit of sewing here that I wanted to talk about, but I also wanted to talk to you about some things that I'm going to do in the future. First thing is I've been watching a few floss tubes lately, and I watched two in particular. Now, Bridges Get Stitches, I've watched her forever, Tasha. I met her back in 2023, I think. Yeah, because she went to weekend A 24, and then she came to weekend B 25, and then she's not going in 26. But she, within the last year, has recently changed to doing hers vlog style, where she kind of just takes you along her stitching journey as it's unfolding, and then in weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 week, however many weeks it is, she puts it all together and then puts it on the tubes. And then I was also watching Sit, Stay, Stitch. Oh, she is so darling. And that's where I really got the vlog. I'm like, I could do that because my partner's off in December and January. And if I take off those, then it's basically like I'm not, and he doesn't go back till really late this year. I won't be floss tubing. So I thought I could do a vlog style. So let me know if you're interested. And if you want to see what the expectations is like, go over and watch Britches Get Stitches and Sit, Stay, Stitch. Tasha does a recap at the end and shows you all the projects at the finish, as well as going day by day or, you know, every few days or whenever she stitches. She does throw little life things in. I wouldn't be doing that because I don't really, other than the bathroom and like doing things, I don't really plan on participating in the life aspect. But Sit, Stay, Stitch does solely blog about cross stitch, nothing else. And once the blog's done, it's done. She doesn't recap the projects. So I kind of like her whole thing about that. So let me know if you're interested in a vlog for the next 2 months to kind of gap the my partner being home and, you know, holiday seasons and stuff. So has anyone heard of any really great plans for 2026? I'm still going to do the 26 and 26, but I'm undecided with everything else. My problem is I stick to my plans. This year I stuck until August, pretty much. May, June, July. Yeah, probably June or July or August. And then I fell off, and then I just started going bananas. And just my stitches has just not been the same. So I'm still going to do 26 projects in 2026, but also I want to know about any other fun, if you have any fun ideas or any suggestions for me where I have a short attention span and I like to change my projects. That was the other thing I noticed about in January and February. I was really flipping projects, like stitching on different projects throughout the day. Like one day I looked and I had stitched 9 different projects. Just did 100 here, 100 there, and just moved on. And I didn't stick with one project too long. And I think that's what also got me my really high stitch counts within the beginning of the first 3 or 4 months of the year. And I just have never really recovered from it. Once I started going to like a monogamous stitcher, which I've definitely realized that I am not. Even though I love it, like I love getting a project done, but I also love like being spontaneous and picking up 4 or 5 different projects in one day. And you really can't do that when, you know. And then I want to know if anybody wants to do a bag exchange. I've really been into bags. I don't know why. Like, I can sew. I've been sewing for 25 years. Before I became a nurse, I actually used to make drag clothes for drag queens. So I can sew. I don't do drag anymore, or I don't do drag clothing anymore. I'm a nurse, that's my soul. Like I decided I can't retire on rhinestones and glitter and wait for the next client to come through to pay the bills. So then I went back to school and I became a nursing assistant and a nurse and blah, blah, blah. And actually one of the reasons why I became a nurse, because I actually wanted to go back to fashion school, but I didn't do that either. And now I'm 45. So I know I'm still youngish and I could go back and do it. It's not happening. It's too much money, too much time, a lot of things. So I was wondering if anybody wanted to do a bag exchange. And I think that'd be super fun. Like we talk and you tell me what you like and I'll tell you what I like. And then you can either look through your stash or purchase fabric to make a bag, and then we exchange bags. We set a time limit, say 2 weeks, and then we exchange information, and then we send a bag out to each other. The one funny thing is when I did this in my knitting, when I did my knitting podcast, which no longer exists, I transferred one to Australia and made one for an Australia viewer. And she's like, yeah, let's just do a few like little like treats from America, and I'll send you some treats from here and blah, 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 and we'll send it. It was $62 just in the bag. Then I had to send yarn, and then I had to send like, and it wasn't like snack size. They were like full blown bags of like candy that are my favorite here in America, here in the United States. $62 later. So I'm not planning on spending $62 to ship anything. So if you're interested in a bag exchange with me, I think it'd be super fun. And it can be any bag. If you want to do a portfolio, I can make a portfolio. We can do a bag exchange. You let me know and we can talk about it and then we can go from there. So that's something that I think would be really exciting for this channel, is to do a bag exchange. And I'll do bag exchange with anybody. It might not be like the week turnaround or whatever if I have like 10 people that want to do it, but we can talk and get things together and go from there. But I was watching. Okay, so I'm going to like my quilting and bag making section here. So if you're not interested in that, you can leave. Thanks so much for watching. If not, we'll continue here. I was watching this lady from London, or she had a British accent, and she was talking about a crumb quilt. And I've only known crumb quilts as like people taking scraps and turning them into pictures, or turning them into like fades or like ombres or something along those lines. This lady took a piece of foam, covered the foam with fabric, and then dumped all of her scraps in, and then sewed a piece of like tulle on top of it, and then stuck these like Care Bears or dolls or something in she was making a sewing mat for her sewing machine, and then put these dolls, and she did, I don't remember the fabric line, but it's the one that's from England. You all are like screaming at me. Tula's not. She might be English. I don't know, but that's not the one I'm talking about. Tilbury? Whatever it is. I think it's Tilbury. But whatever it is. Liberty London. It was all of her Liberty London scraps, I think. Or it could have been somebody else. And she'd thrown them in there, cut out these dolls or like Care Bear looking things, and then strategically placed them everywhere, and then just sewed it down on top of the tulle. And then I thought, I could make that for Alaska. I could make that for Alaska. So now I'm on the hunt for blue and blue-green scraps because I'm going to make the ocean. And then I'm going to buy whale fabric and cut the whales out and put them into the the design of the tulle. And I'm really excited. So if you know where I can buy blue-green scraps, or you have blue-green scraps that you want to ship to me, let me know. I would gladly accept them and put them in my quilt, in my crumb quilt. And I'm going to make a binder. I'm going to make this. I'm going to make a binder, and this here will be the crumb quilt, and I'm going to do an ocean. I could do a port. I could do a ship. I could have a sailman. I could have like a fisherman on. I could do a dock. Listen, it's endless. But right now, I just need to get blue and blue-green scraps to make my ocean. So if you have blue or blue-green scraps that you'd like to donate for me to make my crumb quilt nonsense that I'm trying to do over here, let me know. Send me an email down below, or you can hit me up on Instagram, which is really exciting. Next, I just want to show you some bags that I made. I've been making bags. I'm going to put on a little clip here, and I'm going to talk over it because I think it was silent, if I'm not mistaken, or I didn't really talk over it. But me and my nephew, Jackie, came over, and he wanted to, I was sewing at the desk the other day, and he went at my table, and he was over, and he's like, I want to learn to sew. And I was like, okay, well, I'll find a project for us to sew, and we'll go from there. Well, then I found one. It was a console kit, like a console bag for his Wii 2 or Switch 2 or whatever it's called. And I found some, well, he didn't like mine because then we went to Michael's. I found this Mario Brothers at Walmart, bought 2 fat quarters, and I said, oh, we can make that and do some things. And then I had to go to Michael's to buy lining, or not lining, but interfacing. Michael's has cheap interfacing. If you use super thin, lightweight thing, it's $1.99. Everywhere else, it's like $3 or $4. But he wanted this he wanted this Mario fabric. So we made the outside of this, which was super, just as cute as can be. And then he's really into like astronomy and stuff. So we made the inside. And we identified all these planets. There's a few planets that we can't find out that I think are moons, maybe, of some of these planets. Or like maybe, I don't know. But most of them we could figure, obviously that's Earth. And then I said, oh, it's Africa. And he's like, well, Africa doesn't attach to America. Doesn't attach to the United States. I know a lot of things, Jackson. I do know that that's South America, but I thought it was Africa. Hilarious. So I'll put that picture here. It was super cute. He did most of it. Now my Juki is a self-guided like single stitch. Now does he know the difference between a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch? No. Did it look like it needed some work? Yes. Like we had to go over several times where he had cut the seam too short. So we had to go back in and re-stitch the seam that he cut too short because the bag just was not going together. Not cut, but re-sew. Does his top stitching look like mountains? Yes. But did we get it done? Yes. And it's super cute. So, in honor of him, I made a bag out of his fabric because I have all this left over. And then, since he didn't like my blue one, I use it as the back. And he quilted the inside of his with, and he picked the funnest, like, think of like an emergency cone, like a cone that cones you off from places, how electric orange it is. That is the color of this thread, even though it looks like it's a dull orange. It is like stop the traffic orange. So it was so fun. So I have a little more of that fabric to make a little bit more bags. Here's the one I made from Melissa. And again, it's a Singer 2.5 inch charm pack. I found one on eBay because I thought I needed one more because my one charm pack had half of its charm. And then I didn't realize that I took out the lightweight interfacing that was in there, and I didn't realize that I had already started attaching the interfacing to attaching the 2.5 inch squares to the interfacing. I had about that much done. So I was on the internet looking for another 2.5 inch charm pack. In reality, I just needed to look. So I did that, and then I got it done. So I made her and I a bag, and then I'm trying to really just get rid of all my like tiny, like they're not tiny, they're probably about anywhere from 1/3 to an eighth yard. I've been trying to get rid of that. I've been trying to get rid of that tie-dye, batik, rainbow. So I've really just been trying to get some things done with it. So here's what I made the next one. So this fabric here was a premium cotton fabric from Joann's. This is the fabric that I made the pocket of my portfolios from retreat from November. I got the green because Kim, and then Kim, Spencer's mom, and then Melissa loves butterflies. And then I love nature. Like it was like a deer and stuff. So anyways, I made one of those with the orange on top. Made one with green on top, and then I just simply did X's freehanded. I was not going to mark those. And then I freehand X'd, you can't really see, but I freehand X'd, and then they're wonky. I freehand X'd in green, both bags. I'm not planning on doing all that nonsense. I can't be marking all this. So I'm just making X's, making them look nice. And then I got one more bag left. I have a black one. And then it's official. This butterfly fabric has maybe like 12 inches of a 2.5 inch strip left. And I am currently collecting every fabric that I've used this year, a 2.5 inch square, because I'm going to make a portfolio cover of all of the fabrics that I've used throughout the year. So I have this one left to make. And I said I'm going to get it made today, but I ran out of the black zipper, so I'm just going to do a black zipper with a silver zip instead of the black on black zipper. Well, it's called gunpowder, gunmetal. But yeah, so there that is. And that is all I have. So to recap, what I need you all to help me with is, are you interested in a Vogue style? And again, if you're interested in it and you want to know what it's like, you need to go watch Sit, Stay, Stitch or Britches Get Stitches. I'll probably do it more like Sit, Stay, Stitch, where she just does it and then it's done. She doesn't recap anything at the end. Also, if you've seen any good plans running around the internet on 2026 on Flosstube or anything, like if you find somewhere if you have any plans that aren't like stitching related that maybe we can convert them into stitching, I'd love to hear about that. I did whip go twice. First whip go, I only made it to March, and the second whip go, I made it till April. So I love whip go, and I love that people can commit to it, but it's just not in me. And also I think it's just because I make too much of a lofty goal, and it gets me into trouble. Did you see the light just change because it's now dark outside again? Anyway, and then if you want to do a bag exchange, that would be really fun. I think the bag exchange would be a really great way of like connecting with people. So if you're interested in doing a bag exchange, and then I thought, well, maybe some people want to do a bag exchange but can't sew or don't want to sew. So if you buy a bag, I guess we could do a bag exchange. That could be fun too. Like you purchase one and then I'll make one and then we can do a bag exchange. So if that's something that you're interested in as well, we can do a bag exchange that way as well. And then if you have blue or blue-green scraps, for my obnoxious, it'll have to be whale and dolphin. But then I thought, oh, I could make a little island and put a puffin, because have you seen, oh my gosh, have you seen the grayscale fabrics from Tula Pink? It has a freaking puffin and it has a seal. I might have to buy that now that I'm done talking about it. And whales. So anyways, if you have blue or green scraps or know where I can buy them, because I looked on eBay to see if I could find like a blue and green, like 4-inch square, like batch of things, and I would just cut them up, and she cut it up like lettuce. She was just taking her rotor cutter and just went all to town and cut them all up and threw them in. It was the craziest thing I ever seen. I thought I was going to she's going to be put on the crucifix by some of the people in that comment. We weren't going to be praying to Jesus anymore. We were going to be praying to that lady in London or England or wherever she was. So if you have blue or green scraps, or you know where I can find scraps, I mean, I guess I could buy fat quarters and make it that way too, but that's not really what I'm going to do. Anyways, so if you know where I can find that or you have that, let me know. And that's all I have. So thank you all so much for watching. Oh, toss that floss and let stitch happen. Bye now. Okay, how is everyone? This is our bathroom renovation. So a few that wanted to see it, I just wanted to put it in here. Our toilet, let me give you the layout of it before. Our toilet used to be here. We're moving it there. This vanity used to go all the way on this whole side. You can actually see where the gray mark is. That used to be the old vanity. And like where the brown stops used to be the top of the vanity. So there was no sink over there, but there was one sink here and that was it. A 30 by 30 or 36 by 36 shower. Actually, you can see the hole. So where that hole is right there used to be where the shower came down. It had like a what are those things called? Like a soffit that had nothing in it beside that light. And then here we're putting my vanity, which that's my partner's vanity. Not very smart to do. We're doing a pocket door, which really funny is this used to be over my closet, which is like right here. We took meticulous instructions and tore it down, and then we lost the two wheels. We have one wheel and we lost the other wheel. And since the house was built in the 50s, they no longer make the wheel, and the wheel actually on eBay was as much as just buying a brand new one. So we got a new pocket door, and then we scrapped it, and we're going to turn it into something for the bathroom to kind of pay, like, whatever. Anyways, so we're doing slatted walls here, and then the top of it will all be black and silver wallpaper. And I don't remember if I put it in the video before, but it's from China, the wallpaper, which we absolutely love. It was supposed to come unpasted, but it's actually peel and stick, so we may have to do some Goo Gone to get the peel and stick off so that we can glue it to the wall because it is a wet area. But they glitter bombed us. They're likely saying, like, screw you and your terrace, because there was gold, like cheap gold glitter when you opened it up, and it went all over this bathroom. I mean, you can see it in real life. I don't think you can see it in the camera that well. But anyways, I think they were saying F you and your terrace. I don't know, but it's very funny that, like, it just, and we pulled it out, and there's still a little bit of glitter, like 3 yards, 5 yards into the thing. Anyways, really funny. So my partner, I had to change my password on Amazon because my partner decided to buy a shower system with a rain shower ridiculous, a hose, a handheld, and then this. And then he went in on his own and we are buying this stuff called Flexstone to just get this bathroom done and over with. Decided he was going to buy the largest shower caddy in the whole of America. In the whole world. It's like 17 by like 22 or some shit like that. I'm not even sure. So I had to change my Amazon because he decided he was going to put a rain shower in the shower here. Ridiculous. But that's it for now. So that's where we're at. This whole slatted part will actually come around this whole wall because it is a 50s home and they tiled everything about 2/3 of the way up. Sorry, half of the way up. And we're just using slatted wall all the way around. And it'll be all the way over here. And then the wallpaper will be on top, which will be really cute. And then we're thinking about painting the ceiling or maybe even wallpapering the ceiling. Interesting. I don't know, but here we are. And don't mind all the electric. It'll all get put on the wall and stuff. We're just figuring it out as we go.